Great thing about ChangeNow is you don't have to KYC, you don't have to do any AML, you don't have to set up any sort of account with them at all. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do a ChangeNow tutorial. If you're not familiar with this website, you're going to absolutely love it. And if you are familiar with it and it intimidates you, don't worry. I'm going to break it all down for you in today's video. I'm going to make an actual exchange for you so you don't have to be intimidated. Today we're going to talk about why someone would want to use ChangeNow. I'm going to give you some tips on it. I'm going to demonstrate an actual exchange that I need to make. So I was going to come to the website anyway to make this exchange. I actually use this website on a regular basis, several times a month. Sometimes I use it several times a week. I'm going to talk about the risk and things that you need to be aware of as you're using the website as well. Ladies and gentlemen, let me just get this out of the way. This is not sponsored content. ChangeNow is not sponsoring this video. If I ever do sponsored content on my channel, which I don't do often, but if I did, then I promise you I would always let you know up front that the content is sponsored. I absolutely promise you. I will be transparent about that. And if you can appreciate that, do me a favor and smash that like button. Okay, I'm going to talk about why I use ChangeNow. I'm going to give you an example with a real world transaction that I'm going to make. And then I'm going to give you a couple of tips. ChangeNow works really, really well when you're going from like Bitcoin to Ethereum or Ethereum to Bitcoin, for example, when you're going across chain. Now, you could always do this inside of your exchange account, like if you have a Coinbase account or a Binance account or something like that. I personally like to limit my transactions in centralized exchanges. That's just me. It's kind of a privacy thing. The other reason to use ChangeNow, where it comes in really, really handy, and by the way, the website is ChangeNow.network. That is an affiliate link. I will put the link in the description. You can bookmark it and save it in the event that you need to use it in the future. But a good reason to use ChangeNow is if you wanted to purchase a token that you might not be able to purchase using an exchange. For example, let's just say that you are on the Pulse chain, which is a little bit of an exotic chain that a lot of people aren't aware of. But if you were on the Pulse chain, for example, and you wanted to go to Ethereum and you didn't, for whatever reason, want to use the Pulse bridge, then you could use Pulse and you could go over to Ethereum. Here's another example. Let's just say you wanted to buy Pulse. Well, you can't buy Pulse on just any centralized exchange. They don't all sell the Pulse token. Or for example, let's talk about Monero. Monero is a very common token that is not sold on a lot of exchanges. It's just not. Let's just say you wanted to sell Monero or you wanted to buy some Monero. You could totally do that right here on ChangeNow. So with that being said, this is why you would typically want to use it. A couple of tips. Anytime you want to go from one chain to another chain and you don't want to have to go through a centralized exchange, or if your centralized exchange doesn't allow you to be able to transact, with the particular token, then ChangeNow is an option, as opposed to having to go KYC with some other exchange. The great thing about ChangeNow is you don't have to KYC, you don't have to do any AML, you don't have to set up any sort of account with them at all. That makes it very convenient and very easy to use, which is what I like about it. If you saw my previous video, then you know that I earn passive income several different ways, right? One of the things I mentioned is I earn dividends through various casinos, like Starbets being one of them. Well, I just cashed out some dividends of about $1,100. And I want to take that over because I want to deposit it as collateral. I'm up $179 right now on Lyra. That's awesome. But I want to deposit it as collateral on Lyra. And so I needed to come over here and make that deposit. Well, I'm going to deposit as Ethereum. And Lyra allows me to put it down as collateral and trade against it. Essentially, I'm taking a loan out against it. But neither here nor there. By the way, if you haven't seen this video where I'm giving just kind of an honest monthly update, I'll be sure to link this video above. I'll put it down in the description. You can check it out. Couple of tips I'll give you before I make the actual transaction for you to see yourself. So I'm going from Binance Smart Chain and I'm going to Ethereum. A lot of times you may not find the token you're looking for. For example, we talked about Pulse. Let's just say that you have Pulse X tokens, which is a token that is on the Pulse chain. Well, Pulse X is not listed up here. What I recommend is always check for USDT, because you can see there's a lot of chains. They have USDT for ETH, for Tron, for Binance Smart Chain, which I'll be using, Polygon, Algo, Omni, Solana, Kava, tons of USDT up here. And they have quite a bit of USDC as well. So I would always come to ChangeNow.network and I would just check out USDC and USDT and see if they have your chain here. Now you can always use bridges and whatnot, and people do that. I prefer not to do bridges, although I do use the base bridge right now. I have a video on that, and that's because they may be doing an airdrop. I'm going to walk you through this step by step. So I have USDT on the Binance Smart Chain, and I have $1,135 worth, and I'm going to transact it for Ethereum. Simple enough. Now all you need to do is click exchange. They're going to ask for your recipient wallet address right here. I'll go ahead and grab that. All right, so I put in my address, and now what I'm going to do is click confirm. By the way, useful tips to know. We will process your transaction even if you send a deposit in the wrong network. If this asset is supported on our service, create a transaction with a wrong coin, select an amount, and then send a different one. Spend more than one deposit for the same transaction. Send a deposit long after the exchange was created or completed. We will not be able to proceed with the transaction on the initial terms if you send a deposit for a fixed rate exchange after the rate expires, provided that the rate declines over this time frame. Make a transaction using the wrong contract address. And then, of course, they do have support. I've only ever needed support one time, and they were able to help me. It was very, very easy. It also talks about how you can cancel an exchange here. I'm glad they put this down here. They did not always have this, so it's very, very helpful. All right, so now all we're going to do is make our transaction, click confirm. Now we just need to send our $1,135 in USDT on the Binance Smart Chain to this address. So I'm going to grab it. I'm going to go to my wallet. I will grab our USDT. We'll click send. We'll enter in this address here. We'll send max. We click send. Click next. Confirm. And they're now sending. You'll see here it says awaiting deposit. It tells us about how much ETH we're going to get. It's going to tell us what the recipient address is. And now we just wait. I'll just keep pausing the video between each stage to save us time. All right, that was quick. It clicked confirming, and then all of a sudden it started exchanging pretty quickly. By the way, typically a transaction is completed within 2 or 3 minutes. And you don't have to leave this page up. I always leave this page up. This is just another tip. I always leave this page up in a tab. So it just makes it easy to come back here and check on everything, make sure it's going through just fine. Normally, if I'm not recording a video, I don't stare at the page. I just open up another tab and continue on in the web browser doing whatever I'm doing. All right, now we've finished up exchanging. It says sending to you. So any moment, I should have this Ethereum sitting in my wallet. And just like that, we're finished. And by the way, it only took 2 minutes or less. And I would say that's pretty true for all the transactions. Ethereum can be the slowest sometimes. And then, of course, they ask us to leave a review on Trustpilot. I've already left a review on Trustpilot. I love the service. I've been using the service for years. Again, I'm not telling you you should use the service. You don't need to use the service. If you don't want to use my affiliate link in the description, you just go to ChangeNow.io. Either way, if you interact with the crypto, you may find this website useful at some point down the road. So it's worth bookmarking to keep it available so it's a resource and you're not like, what was that website Wealth was talking about? ChangeNow. Link in the description. Okay, I want to go ahead and cover some of the risk of using ChangeNow before I wrap up this video. First of all, the thing that you want to be aware of, anytime that you send funds from your wallet and you're trusting another entity to make a transaction or to do something with your funds, whether you send it to the exchange or whatever, remember, not your keys, not your crypto. The moment that I sent that USDT to the address, it was out of my control until the Ethereum ended back up into my address. So yes, there's Trustpilot. Yes, there's a lot of good reviews. Yes, I personally had really good experience with it. But we are taking a risk. Anytime that you send funds out of your wallet to another entity, you are entrusting and hoping that that entity is doing what it should be doing with your funds. No different than if you were to use some sort of international exchange, whether it's Binance, whether it's BingX, or any other exchange, KuCoin. You're trusting when your funds are on that exchange that whoever's in charge of that exchange are treating them responsibly and you're going to get them back. That wasn't always the case for those people who had funds on FTX. So the biggest risk is centralization risk, and it's important that you're aware of that. So be very careful out there in crypto, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know down in the comments if it's been helpful. Let me know if you have any questions as well. Thank you so much for watching, and if you're still watching the video, say I'm still here down in the comments. This is Crypto Wealth. I'm out.